Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner. Got another knife video, kind of a collection one, but it's a group. It's my collection of Devo knives. Devo knives. Okay, so you know Devo is Kevin from Lefty EDC and Colin, who's designed a bunch of different knives. They kind of got together. I've heard the story. I couldn't really repeat the story, but I've heard the story, and it's pretty cool. They definitely make a good team. They have strong points and weak points, and they kind of balance each other out and add to each other. And they're great guys. I mean, really great guys. I've met them several times at shows, and in reality, most of these knives were bought at blade shows. And it's kind of like I have these different knives, like Jack Wolf knives, and some. I've been getting a few of the Tempest knives, but then most of those, I kind of that's a mixed bag because KC hasn't really been to too many of the shows yet. He only goes to Atlanta, whereas Kevin and Colin have been at Blade Show West as well as Atlanta. So all of these except for the Growler were bought at shows, and just this was the first one I bought. This is the come on now, Stout, and it was very cool. The story behind this is that it's the first time I'd seen them at a show. Obviously, it's their first one. This is the first version of the Stout. I tend to get them on the first version, and it's the same thing with the Growler. It was the first version, and then they came out with the newer version. But I already had the old one, and I loved it so much, I just stuck with it. This was a cool story because I bought this one from him, and I was talking to Kevin. He's so nice, really cool. And he threw in the Zircotai backspacer for free because that's the kind of guy he is. If you know people that know him, he's had the pass around group. He's always helped other channels, sent stuff over. I remember one time at a show, we were at the Kaiser after party, and I was talking about the one of the TRM knives that I had, and it was a little hard to get to the stud. And he said, "Hey, yeah, I got some of the little rubber bands that you can put on there that come from Three Rivers Manufacturing." And he offered, and I hit him up, and boom, he sent me the whole pack. I didn't only needed two, but he sent me multiple colors, so it was very cool. He's just that kind of guy. He really is. I mean, honestly, he's not put on any kind of show. Really, he's just that kind of guy. So anyway, that gives me a lot of what do you call it when you're kind of dedicated to is brand loyalty, and definitely has been the case with Devo knives. Let's see. Let's see the Buzz. The Buzz one is this guy, and it's all blacked out on this one. I kind of like to, when I'm getting these, like just like with the Jack Wolf, I like to get like a bunch of different styles. So this is the Buzz, and I know it's the Buzz because it has this thing that looks like a mohawk over the top. So it's got this kind of over the top flipping action, specifically designed for that, and it gives you that kind of look. And then of course you always have the slots. It's pretty typical. We got a footer on this one, but otherwise they do have the finger deployment. I'm not sure if it's both of them that like it, or they just like agree that that's what they like to do. It's got this cool kind of sheep's footy, lots of sheep foot kind of designs, but this one's got that kind of step down sort of thing. Very cool. Black with the titanium, really nice. Lots of wire clips, and I like wire clips. So I mean, on a Spyderco, you see a lot of Spydercos with wire clips, and the Devo with them. I think, yeah, Tempest knives also, and they are just very good in the pocket, very functional. And I know some people think they're kind of ugly, but I like them. I think they look good, and I think they feel good. Don't leave a hot spot in the hand. So yeah, so there's the Devo Buzz. And it's not really doing any order here. I'm just kind of grabbing them as I go. This is the mash. I remember when I got this one. When I go to the show, I go, show me what you got. What do you got? And they're always trying to bring some knives to sell. And this one was like one of the few last ones. This had been after they had dropped and been kind of gone for a while. And one of them will pull, maybe both of them, pull a few out that they had kind of left over and save for the shows. Yeah, so this one is the mash, and so I said, oh yeah, this is my opportunity. I wanted to get it. I always want to get Devo knives every single time, but when it comes to drops that go really fast, I don't always have the money then. It's hard for me to make a decision to spend the money. I mean, these kind of, really not too bad on some of them, but there's a few of them that are like in the $300 range, and then you get the mid 100s. And I think that's specific. They're trying to get the price good for other people. Like this one here, the mash is a $135. So that's really in a sweet spot for price, and very cool knife. This does have 14C28 in. The two that are in the 300 range are these guys here, and they are both with 20CV. So blade steel is a big thing. So the 14C does make it cheaper, but it's great steel. Some really good hollow grinds all the way through. This guy was a flat. This guy is hollow. And this guy is a really kind of a deep hollow. Nice and thin behind the edge. So, and again, it's kind of that sheep's foot with like more of a clippy point on the end. Wire clip again. And I'm loving it. Next, another 14C28 in is the mash, and this one was the real budget one, $70. This is the first version. I remember when I got it in the mail, I'd ordered it. I think it was White Mountain Knives where I got it from. This is the only one here on the table that wasn't bought at a show, and I got it, and I'm going, wow, this detent is way weaker than I expected. All these other ones are just dialed in with real good detents, and especially the ones that have like the one deployment method, which is the whole, obviously you can do the thumb. Well, this one does have it over top, so it did have to be tuned for that as well. But anyway, they're always well tuned, well designed. I know that they do a lot of QC with their stuff, but this one I was surprised, and there were people that were complaining about it. I kind of commented on it, but in reality, I really like this knife. It never opens in my pocket and cutting me. That's really my thing. But I was surprised because of the Detent Diva. I was thinking these are going to be real strong. But I love that tall flat grind. Here we go. It makes it a little bit harder to get the flick out sometimes. And also being on the camera, I really don't have much trouble with it. But yeah, tall flat grind. I love that tall flat grind. And this one is also a 14C28N, bringing that price way down under $100. Very cool. Nice micarta, really nice. It's great ergos in the hand. It feels really good. Again, no, this one doesn't have the wire clip. So this might have been a price thing. Just going for that bent clip. Because you see that on a lot of budget knives. But it is fairly deep carry. So yeah, it's a good one. And then a lot of these with the wire clips, if you don't like them, you can always get the Lynch replacement. I think they're very specific on being able to get that replacement. Now this one won't have that, but there may be other replacements that you can get for it if you really want to. They do have the newer Growler V2, maybe even more than that since, but I really like this one, and this is another case where I got that first one and I just didn't go back to the well, even though there were definitely clearly improvements on the newer versions of them, but I was already satisfied, so it's good enough for me. This is a little different one. This one is the Lush, and I got this one at one of the shows. I think they were selling them a lot at traditional pocket knives, TPK, but I got this at the show. And here's where I stepped into the 80s camo carbon. No, I bought this from TPK. That's right. This is another one that I didn't get at the show. I did get this at the drop. It was the second drop because I know that the '80s camo carbon had sold out really fast when they first did it, and it's got this cool kind of over the top kind of a lot like the Buzz, that over the top flipping feature, whereas this one's kind of flatter. So let's see if I can get that with the left hand. But it really works well. And then you got the fuller. So yeah, I did get this from TPK, and great finger choil up there on this one. There's a number of them with good finger choils. Always pretty good with the sharpening. I think this one, the plunge is kind of coming down pretty close to the sharpening choil in this case. But even in this one, you can get a little bit of a choke up on here because you got that flat on the handle. So yeah, I love their designs. Very well thought out. For the most part, your sharpening choils are really good. I mean, they're all good to a certain extent. Some are a little bit closer than others as far as how how much room you have for sharpening. But just all the little details that people who review knives think about went into these. Now, this one is like a $200 version, and it has more of a traditional kind of look. I know they had a slip joint that they were doing with one of the companies as a exclusive, and I never did get that one. I was kind of hoping to get it, but it never ended up. There's just so many of them. There's that that one, the Fireball. Oh man, yeah, and then the one that just came out, and I probably am going to miss that one. I am going to Blade Show Texas, but they're not going to be there. I think they go to West because Colin lives near Blade Show West, and of course Atlanta is the big one. And then the nip, and the nip, I always thought it was very cool. It's kind of small for me, but it is such a cool knife. And there was that purple Nurple one that everybody was talking about, and I just wanted to get on board with that. What happened is I brought it home. I got it one show that my girlfriend wasn't with me when I got it, and I got it home, and she pretty much took it in trade for another knife, which is a better size for me, really. And she really likes it, and I always want to promote her liking some knives. So this is one from her collection. It's the nip, and she really likes it. I think it's because the look, the purple that carbon, and you got that titanium clip on it. Just makes it look really nice. Titanium on the pivot collar, it just pops. And yeah, it's a cool little knife. The ladies tend to have smaller pockets, so kind of works for her. So that's it. That's my Devo knife collection so far. I will be getting more. I will be going to Atlanta. I just got an email today. I was like blown away because I got this email that says, "You're VIP." I guess I've gone to enough shows, and they mentioned that I bought the early bird passes enough times to get into this category. They aren't selling the tickets yet to anybody, as far as I know. Maybe there's some VIP for that, but this was for hotel accommodations, and in Atlanta, that's a big deal. So I got myself my reservations for the hotel, so I'm all set, and it's like a half-mile away from the show, so I don't have to deal with parking. I'm stoked about that. No rental car for me over there. It's going to save me a little money that I can spend on knives. I think it's going to be great. So I'm super excited about that. I'm keeping an eye out for when the tickets go on sale. So I'm going to jump on that before they run out of the early birds. That's where I really want to get in the early bird, because I didn't get in on it at Texas. I'll be in with the regular crowd, but I just don't have as much money. Usually around the time of the Atlanta show is when I get like a bonus from work, so it's just perfect timing. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's my Devo collection so far. I know there's probably people out there that have every single one. I wish that was me, but I love this group of knives, and I love Devo knives. They do great work, and I recommend them highly, even if you just get one for your collection. Even if you just get the growler, $70. I mean, come on. I don't know. These kind of get dropped, and then it's hard to get a hold of them. They sell out, so there is that issue. And if you're like me and you're not that great at it, and you don't go to the shows like I do, then yeah, it might be hard to get the knives. But they're really great. If you can get a hold of one, do it. At least that's what I say. Everybody's their own person, so you make your own decisions. I'm not going to try to tell you what to do, but do it. No, just kidding. All right, guys. Hey, you guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one.